Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to begin by giving all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors to the elders and to the apostle Great Millstone, and enough respect to the brothers out there pushing and spreading the gospel of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai to the four corners of the world. Now, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, I hope to do a lesson, and Lord willing, this be edifying. This is Exodus chapter 20, starting from verse 1. It says, And the Lord and God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord, Yahweh thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I am the Lord Yahweh thy God. For I, the Lord Yahweh thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of thy fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. All right? I am a jealous God. And, this is one of the scriptures that these people who are brave enough to blaspheme the name of the Lord, they use. And they try to say, well, the Most High is, this, that, and the third, because he's jealous, he's envious. But really, there is a difference between jealousy and envy. And we're going to go through the scriptures and, get the difference. Because while the word for jealousy is and envy are the same, which is quanah. Let me get it right now. If I'm not mistaken. Right, yeah, quanah, and from the root word, quanah. And you see how it's, used to describe someone who's envious, someone who's jealous, and even someone who's zealous. And so we're going to, although this is one word that has three different meanings, we're ultimately going to use the scriptures to, to break it down, right? The ultimate source of knowledge. We're going to pull the proper precepts, and then we're going to use context clues to figure out what means what, and in which scenario is it okay to have these kind of feelings, and in which scenario is it not okay to have these kind of feelings, and to ultimately prove that Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai is not a wicked power. He's not a wicked God for being jealous, all right? But let's get a little bit of insight on the word jealous and envy. So it says, it says, let me just get, the word origin. It says, both words are fairly old, having been in regular use in the English since 13th century, and both words have occurred a number of shades of meaning over the years. The fact that each of these words has numerous meanings makes it somewhat impractical to say jealous means X and envious means Y. But this matter of impracticality has proven to be little deterrence to many people who have insisted that each one of these does indeed have a single true sense. And, like I says, even though they're saying that it's impractical to say jealousy means X and Y, that's true in some cases. They are interchangeable, just like this guy is going to say. In some cases, that's true, but, in most cases, it's not true. So we're going to use the scriptures to figure out which is which and which is what. And Lord willing, this be edifying. So one might almost say that these two words are used as if they were interchangeable. And these are comments, right, offered on the two words taken from usage guides published since the middle of the 20th century. It says one might say that these two words are used as if they are interchangeable. The words are scarcely synonymous. However, envy means discontent, longing for someone else's advantage, while jealousy means unpleasant suspicion or apprehension of rivalship. In other words, there are three different ways in which jealousy can be used. The most common is where the meaning is fearful of losing attention. Another broad sense is possessive or protective. And the third usage is in the sense of envious, as of another person because of his or her belongings, abilities, or achievements. Okay, so let's go into the scriptures and have the scriptures, clarify things. This is Numbers chapter 5, verse. Let's go to verse 11. This is the law on adultery test. And the Lord Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, If any man's wife go aside and commit a trespass against him, and a man lie with her carnally, and it be hid from the eyes of his husband, and be kept close, and she be defiled, and there be no witness against her, neither she be taken with their manner. In other words, she be caught in the act. And the spirit of jealousy come upon him, the husband, because you can sense when something is off, right? When when you've been with someone for a long time, you know how their mood is, and you can tell when something is off. It says, and the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be defiled, right? Or if the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be not defiled. So either case, whether she did it or not, if the spirit of jealousy come upon the man isn't condemned for having those feelings. As a matter of fact, he's encouraged, right? To what? To carry out his suspicion. Verse 15 says, Then shall the man bring his wife unto the priest, and he shall bring her offering for her, the 10th part of an ephah of barley meal. He shall pour no oil upon it, nor put frankincense thereof, for it is an offering of jealousy, an offering of memorial, bringing iniquity to remembrance. And the priest shall bring her near, and set her before the Lord. And the priest shall take holy water in an earthen vessel, and of dust that is in the floor of the tabernacle, the priest shall take. And of the dust that is in the floor of the tabernacle, the priest shall take, and put it into the water. And the priest shall set the woman before the Lord Yahweh, and uncover the woman's head, and put the offering of memorial in her hands, which is the jealousy offering. And the priest shall have in his hand the bitter water that causeth the curse. And the priest shall charge her by an oath, and say unto the woman, If no man have lain with thee, and if thou hast not gone aside to uncleanness with another instead of thy husband, be thou free from this bitter water that causes the curse. But if thou hast gone aside to another instead of thy husband, and if thou be defiled, and some man have laid with thee beside thine husband, then the priest shall charge the woman with an oath of cursing, and the priest shall say unto the woman, The Lord Yahweh shall make thee a curse and an oath among thy people, when the Lord Yahweh doth make thy thigh to rot and thy belly to swell, and this water that causes the curse shall go into thy bowels, to make thy belly to swell, and thy thigh to rot. And the woman shall say, Amen, Amen. In other words, so be it, or let it be so. So, and the priest shall write these curses in a book, and he shall blot them out with bitter water, right? He shall write these curses upon a scroll, and then wash them off into the bitter water. And he shall cause the woman to drink the bitter water that causes the curse, and the water that causes the curse shall enter into her, and become bitter. Then the priest shall take the jealousy offering of the woman's hand, and shall wave the offering before the Lord Yahweh, and offer it upon the altar, and the priest shall take an handful of the offering, even the memorial thereof, and burn it upon the altar, and afterwards shall cause the woman to drink the water. And when he has made her to drink the water, then it shall come to pass that if she be defiled, and have done trespass against her husband, that the water that causes the curse shall enter into her, and become bitter, and her belly shall swell, and her thigh shall rot, and the woman shall be a curse among her people. And if the woman be not defiled, but be clean, then she shall be free, and shall conceive seed. This is the law of jealousy, when a wife goeth aside to another instead of her husband, and is defiled. And so you see, when it comes to jealousy, it is when you are when you are like, I guess you have a feeling, right? A bad feeling about losing something that belongs to you, right? So when you are possessive, as a matter of fact, when you're agitated with the idea that something that you have that belongs to you, right, will will be taken away from you, or you will lose it. That is jealousy. And in certain cases, like in the case that Yahweh Bashim Yashai, or the Most High, said in Ezekiel the 20th chapter, he said that what? I am a jealous God, because the scripture says that all soul belongs to me. We belong to the Lord Yahweh. And our forefather Abraham made a covenant with the Lord Yahweh. And the covenant was that we shall be his people and he shall be our God. So in a sense, he was what he is. He has every right to be jealous and to what? Charge our nation to not worship any other gods, because he is possessive of us, you know? And so this is I'm gonna find a contrast to this, which is envy. But let me get one more for jealousy real quick. Proverbs chapter 6. This is gonna be a quick one. Proverbs chapter 6, starting from verse 30. It says, men do not despise a thief if he steal to satisfy his soul when he is hungry. But if he be found, right, he shall restore sevenfold. He shall give all the substance of his house. So this is a sin where people have some sort of sympathy, but nevertheless, the person that stole has to deal with the consequences. But it says, but whosoever committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul. A wound and dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away. For jealousy is the rage of a man, therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance. Now, why is it vengeance? Because because you took something that was his. You know, you wrecked his home. You know, you were a home wrecker. So that's why the scripture says the jealousy is the rage of a man, and vengeance, right? Because he's doing something that you have done to him that he has every right to carry out. That's vengeance. And he will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest, right? Neither will he rest content, though thou givest many gifts. He will refuse bribe, like it says right here, you know? So this is jealousy. Hey, did not the scripture says that what we are married unto the Lord? It's not Yahweh coming to what? To marry us? The same analogy. Now, onto envy. Proverbs chapter 14, 29. It says, in the multitude of verse 29, he that is slow to wrath is of great understanding, but he that is hasty of spirit exalteth folly. A sound heart is the life of the flesh, but envy the rottenness of the bones. So we're gonna, I believe, let me see if I can get the precept right now. Let me see. The word is covetousness instead of envy. This is envy is what is the rottenness of the bones, because it's self-destructive. And this is Exodus, right? Let's get back to Exodus 20. Verse 17, it says, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, right? In other words, desire or envy. Let me see. 17. let's see. All right, let's go with the covetousness. It says, verse 17, Exodus 20, verse 17, it says, Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass. Not, it means a donkey or, yeah, a, a donkey or an ox. Okay, so just relax. It says, nor anything that is thy neighbor's, right? Because this feeling is towards something that does not belong to you in the first place. It's not yours, So you ain't supposed to be having a possessive feeling about it. That's what separates jealousy from covetousness or envy. Envy is when you want something that doesn't belong to you, and jealousy is when you want to keep something that is in danger of what slipping from your grasp. It's as simple as that. All right. So now let's get to the point about, let me see, the Most High's envy. Oh, let's get this right now. This is well known. Right, this is Isaiah chapter 11, verse 11. It says, And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord Yahweh shall set his hand against the second time to recover the remnants of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. In other words, he shall gather all of Israel, he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. Now get this, the envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. So this is the point where it becomes a problem, when it's envy, right? Because what? The blessing of Judah, because in the northern kingdom, Ephraim is the head tribe, and in most cases, there is tension as to who is more significant in the nation. And Ephraim always seems to think that as though they're more prominent than Judah, because, they are bigger, they have more people, they are the head of most of the nation. But, the Most High has it where Judah is the head tribe. And so when everything is set right, when wickedness it's altogether purged from the nation of Israel, because, even in the kingdom, these nations will be sinning, and we shall put judgment upon them. But only Israel will be immune to what? To wickedness. And part of that is envy. And the Most High will get rid of that. Not the jealousy, but envy. So a man has every right to what? To set boundaries for the things that he owns. For, you go to a man's house and you over here fraternizing with his wife and telling jokes and shit. The dude can tell you, you need to chill out. There's nothing wicked about that. All right? So let's get into Ezekiel chapter 8, verse 1. Now this is the boiling point of the Most High's jealousy, which is righteousness. All right? And I had made a video previously about, the ancient practices of cutting a deal or covenant. And I guess highlighted how important that covenant was, how serious it was. The gesture that Yahweh Bashim Yashai made with Abraham when he cut the two pieces of the animals and walked in between. So let's get why he's very serious about that covenant, and why that jealousy, and what happens when his jealousy is what is reaches a boiling point. So this is Ezekiel chapter 8, starting from verse 1. It says, And it came to pass in the 6th year, and the 6th month, and the fifth day of the month, as I sat in mine house, and the elders of Judah sat before me, that the hand of the Lord Yahweh fell there upon me. Then I beheld, and lo, a likeness as the appearance of fire, from the appearance of his loin even downward fire, and from his loins even upwards as the appearance of brightness, as the color of amber. And this is he saw the angel. All right. It says, and he put forth the form of an hand, and took me by a lock of mine head. And the Spirit lifted me up between the earth and the heaven, and brought me in the visions of God to Jerusalem, to the door of the inner gate that looketh toward the north. So at this point, you know, Ezekiel is what he is in. He's in Babylon right now, you know, and the Most High took him through the Spirit, right? And he took out his spirit from his body, and he dragged him all the way to Israel, right? So he can see the things that's going on in Jerusalem, right? And brought me in a vision of God to Jerusalem, to the door of the inner gate that looketh toward the north. And there was the seat of the image of jealousy, which provoketh to jealousy. In other words, idols. The image of jealousy, something that is meant to rival the Most High, which provoketh to jealousy. Yo, it's supposed to be my temple. What the hell is goddamn Ishtar doing in my temple? That's jealousy. What the hell are my people doing worshiping, Tammuz? That's jealousy. Verse 4, it says, and behold, the glory of God of Israel was there, according to the vision that I saw in the plain. And he said unto me, Son of man, lift up thine eyes now the way towards the north. So I lifted up mine eyes the way toward the north, and behold, northward at the gate of the altar, this image of jealousy in the entry. So at the very entrance of the city, they had an idol there. It says, he said furthermore to me, Son of man, seest thou what they do, even the great abomination that the house of Israel committeth here, that I should go far off from my sanctuary? But turn thee yet again, and thou see great abomination. He says, look at what they do, the wickedness that's done, even far away from the sanctuary. He ain't even got to a sanctuary yet. From the very boundaries of the city, he's already angry. He says, but turn thee yet again, thou shalt see great abomination. In other words, the deeper we go, you're going to see more and more wickedness. All right? So, it says, and he brought me to the door of the court. And when I looked, behold, a hole in the wall. And he said unto me, Son of man, dig now in the wall. And when I had digged in the wall, behold, a door. Right? And he said unto me, go in, and behold, the wicked abomination that they do here. And I went in and saw, and behold, every form of creeping things, and abominable beast, and all the idols of the house of Israel, portrayed upon the walls round about. It says, and there stood before them 70 men of the ancients of the house of Israel, and in the midst of them stood Jaazaniah, the son of Shaphan, with every man his censer in his hand, and a thick cloud of incense went up. And then said he unto me, Son of man, hast thou seen what the ancients of the house of Israel do in the dark, every man in the chambers of his imagery? For they say, the Lord Yahweh seeth not, the Lord Yahweh has forsaken the earth. He said unto me, turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abomination that they do. Then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, which was towards the north. And behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz. Right? And this pretty much goes into the ritual of the Canaanites. Sometimes they would do some, I guess they would do some rituals that would call for the attention of the gods to allow for, what's it called? What's the word? Fertility of the land. So that when they plant, they can harvest great. They can harvest and increase. So that's pretty much what they do. Sometimes it's mourning. Sometimes it's orgies, openly having sex, just anything to get the attention of the gods. And that's pretty much what they do, because apparently, if I'm not mistaken, the gods sometimes will be they won't be paying attention, or they'll be sleeping. I don't really know. I'm sort of guessing right now, but if you do the research, the god of Tammuz, you'll find out that a lot of the things, the weeping and the orgies that they do, is to attract the attention of the gods, so that they can what? So that they can bless the land. It says, then said he unto me, hast thou seen this, O son of man? Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abomination than these. And he brought me into the inner court of the Lord's house, and behold, at the door of the temple of God, between the porch and the altar, there were about 25 men with their backs towards the temple of the Lord, and their faces towards the east, and they worshipped the sun towards the east. Look at that, you know. It says so. The holiest of the holiest, in other words, the tabernacle. So the city itself is supposed to be holy, and then the tabernacle is supposed to be holy, right? The boundaries of the tabernacle, and then when you cross the boundaries between where the sacrifices is, the altar, the courtyard is supposed to be also be holy. And here it is that they're doing, they're just worshiping the sun at that point. You know, they're in the court, they're bowed down to the sun. Then he said unto me, Hast thou seen this, O son of man? Is it a light thing to the house of Judah that they commit the abomination which they commit here? For they have filled the land with violence, and have returned to provoke me to anger. And lo, they put the branch to their nose. Therefore will I also deal in fury. Mine eye shall not spare, neither will I have pity. And though they cry in mine ears with a loud voice, yet will I not hear them. So at this point, this is the Most High. He reaches a point where he's like, you know what? I got to do something about it. No more whining, no more preaching, no more talking. It's time to get to work. And when you go into chapter 9, this is where what? The vision of the slaughter. This is where he sets up a hit squad of angels. 6 men, right? Verse 1, it says, he cried, Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 1, he says, he cried also in my ears with a loud voice, saying, Cause them that have charge over the city to draw near, even every man with his destroying weapon in his hand. You know, those that have charge over the city. In other words, those that have what? Those that Yahweh has appointed to what? To the city. Because, you know, the Most High is known to do these things. I believe in the book of Daniel, if I'm not mistaken, Daniel the 7th chapter, while he was in the midst praying, the Most High sent an angel unto Daniel, and he actually apologized and said, "Look, man, I was being hindered by this king." Let me get it right now. See if I can find right, okay. Right, so this is not 7, 9, right? Daniel chapter 9. Let me just bring it right now. (19) It says, "O Lord, hear this." At this point, Daniel is praying unto the Most High, and he's praying for the sake of Israel. It says, "And whilst I was speaking and praying, and confessing my sins and the sins of my people Israel, and presenting my supplication before the Lord Yahweh my God, for the holy mountain of my God, yea, whilst I was speaking in prayer, even the man Gabriel, whom I had seen in the vision at the beginning, being caused to fly swiftly, touched me about the time of the evening oblation. He informed me and talked with me, and said, O Daniel, I am now come forth to give thee skill and understanding. At the beginning of thy supplication and command, at the beginning of thy supplication, the command came forth, and I am come to show thee, for thou art greatly beloved. Therefore, understand the matter and consider the vision." So like, I wanted to get the point where he said he was hindered. Oh, yeah, this is Daniel chapter 10. It says, "But the prince," right, the same event happened. It says, "But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 120 days. But lo, Michael, one of the chief prince, came to help me, and I remained there with the kings of Persia. So this is the point that I wanted to bring out, that at some point the Most High sends angels out, to have to I guess complete certain objective in different places, and this is, in my opinion, why you would hear them saying that them that have charge over the city, or they don't have charge over this place and that place. It's pretty much the Most High sends out his angels to certain places to accomplish certain things. So it says, behold, 6 men came forth from the way of the higher gate, and so it says, cause them that have charge over the city to draw near, every man with his destroying weapon in his hands, and these are angels. And behold, 6 men from the way of the high gate, which lieth toward the north, and every man a slaughter weapon in his hand. And one man among them was clothed with linen, with a writer's inkhorn by his side, and went in and stood beside the brazen altar. And the glory of the Lord Yahweh Israel was gone up from the cherub, whereupon he was to the threshold of the house. And he called to the man clothed with linen, right, which had the writer's inkhorn in his side. So among these 6 men, one of them didn't have a weapon, but instead you would have like a writing equipment. Just put it that way. And the Lord Yahweh said unto him that had the writing equipment, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abomination that be done in the midst thereof. And to the others he said into mine hearing, go after him through the city, and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity, and slay completely. In other words, put to death. Don't stab someone in a way they can survive, or just give them a slight wound. He says slay utterly. You gotta put them to death. Separate the spirit from the body. Do that to the old and the young, both maids, the women, little children, and women. Right? Then it's like the young women. Okay. It says, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house, and he said unto them, defile the house, and fill the courts with the slain. Go ye forth. And they went forth and slew in the city. And it came to pass, while they were slaying them, and I was left, and I fell upon my face, and I cried and said, Ah, Lord, wilt thou destroy all the residue of Israel, in thy pouring out of thy fury upon Jerusalem? Then he said unto me, the iniquity of the house of Judah is exceeding great, and the land is full of blood, and the city full of perverseness. For they say, the Lord Yahweh has forsaken the earth, the Lord Yahweh seeth not. So this is pretty much what happens when Yahweh Shemeshai is jealous. And the jealousy of the Most High, when it provokes him to anger, to take lives, it is righteousness. So this is pretty much the point of this video. I hope this was edifying. I hope that Yahweh Shemeshai blessed us with a spirit of knowledge and wisdom and understanding. And hey, this may be basic, but one day, you never know if this will help someone understand some other thing better, or make connections later on in the future. So with that, I'm going to end right there. Shalom to all the Akims and Aquas listening in truth and sincerity. Yahweh Shemeshai Barakatha. And may the blessing be upon our house. I'm going to end right there. Shalom.